Welcome to Diamond.Standard.Gaming, and today we're going to go ahead and we're going to be building a flowing river in Minecraft. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to basically start a pond right around here. We're going to have the stream kind of meander down here to the right of our prison and to the left of our landowner's home, and then it's going to go ahead and end down in the bay in a waterfall. So here I am, I'm starting to dig out the pond where it's going to start from. Now eventually I do want to have a creek coming down off of the snow-capped mountains and just kind of flowing into this pond, but for this build's purpose we're just going to start our river right in this pond. So here I'm just digging it out with no specific shape or anything like that, just again trying to make it look natural, so trying to keep it so there's not too many large straight areas along the banks or anything like that. And then I do go ahead and I add a couple deeper spots in the pond, but at this point again really just want to get a place to get this river started. And I do think I'll come back in a future build and I will add more vegetation and lily pads or possibly even fish I will put into this pond, and I might actually replace some of the dirt with cobblestone or other kinds of stone, but we'll see. That'll be a future build. So once I kind of get the general shape cut out, I go ahead and I fill it with water. Please let me know in the comments if you have any ideas of what I can add to this build to make it look cooler. I would love to hear from you guys. So that's the basic shape of the pond right there. And then here's kind of where the outlet of the pond is going to be. So my first run through on this, I'm really just cutting it out, not very wide. I will come back, you'll see later in the video, and I will actually widen it in a couple places. But for this first run, I'm just trying to get it to flow, essentially the direction I want it to flow in. So I kind of did this by mistake here. When I put the water in there, I see it flows down here, basically into my watchtower and right past my prison, which I don't want that to happen. So what I do is I go here and I build up a little berm that redirects the water in the other direction. And I do have a challenge out there for all my viewers. Anybody who doesn't think this video is good, I would love for you to leave a comment and tell me what it is that I can do better. So what I do here to keep the water flowing is when you put a block of water down in Minecraft, it flows for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 blocks, and each subsequent block you have a little bit less water, and then eventually it just stops and ends wherever it happened to end at. So what I do is I basically put a block of water and I let it flow as far as it flows, and then right in that last block where the next block of water will have 0 height and no water, I basically dig that down so its elevation is 1 lower than the block before it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so then what I'm doing here is I'm putting like a lower pond in, and this actually works out perfect. If you saw our prison build, one of the back cells in the prison actually had water leaking into it. So now this makes perfect sense. If you were to come up here and look, and you would say, oh, I see that there is a giant pond above this prison here, and that makes perfect sense why it's leaking water. I also have a request for all you viewers out there. I would love to hear what you would like to see me build next. For example, we did a truck build over the weekend, just basically a pickup truck. That was a short that we had, and we did a couple other neat things. We did a bowling pin build a few weeks ago. We've been doing a lot of builds with this village, so this is kind of, I consider this part of our village because it's flowing through the village, even though it's more of, you know, like a natural build. Here I'm just clearing out some of the trees to make room for my river. And again here, I'm not so concerned about the exact, you know, width or look of the river right now, just to kind of get it started. I come up here to where this path is, and you'll see in a future build I will actually go ahead and build a bridge that goes over the river right at that path. And then as I come down here a little further, I will actually have another smaller bridge that crosses the river again down here. And I will have a future build video of those bridges. And here is basically the end of the river, so it's going to kind of just flow down into this bay or larger river that's down here. So that's kind of the path it's going to take right there. So then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to go ahead and add more water and dig it out so it flows. My ultimate goal is to really have it flow the entire way, so that like if I put a boat in there, I just flow all the way down right to the bay. I think that would be the coolest thing to have happen, because you don't see a lot of flowing rivers in Minecraft, right? They're mostly like stagnant water. You might see water flowing coming out of like a mountainside or something, but it usually doesn't really go anywhere. A lot of times it just ends right in like the grass or something, instead of actually flowing into another body of water. Right after my bridge build, what I did is I actually leveled a couple like building areas out, building lots we'll call them, on either end of the river here. And that's going to be a future build. I'm going to go ahead and put, I think I created 3 lots, so I'm going to go ahead and create 3 houses, 2 on one side and 1 on the other side of this river. I'm really actually pretty amazed how far our town has come so far. I think we're on part 12 now. If we count this river, it'll be part 12. And I remember building our first landowner's house about 2.5 months ago at this point. And at that point, there was so much space on all sides. And then I remember going ahead and building our watchtower. And at that time, I just remember looking at how far the watchtower was away from the town. And now at this point, with the prison put in there, and with the river put in, and then the bridges, there's really not that much more space. Like I said, there's really only space for about 3 houses between the prison and the current mayor's house and landowner's house. So it's pretty amazing how quickly everything really filled in. And then here again, I'm just trying to make the waterfall look natural. In a future build, I do modify this waterfall a little bit more from what I'm doing here, and I actually make it more of a waterfall that drops straight down, straight into the bay. But for now, this is kind of where I get it to. And I look at it here, and I think it looks pretty good at this point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back up and I'm going to widen a couple of the areas of the river. My ultimate goal is to really have it wide enough so a boat can float all the way down. And I think I got pretty close to that, but not quite. I do have a little bit more work to do on it after this video. Please let me know how this comes out if you're trying this river build on your own. If you have any tips or tricks that you can share, it would be greatly appreciated. I've really been only playing Minecraft for since about Christmas time. Basically, Santa Claus brought the Switch for my kids, and since then we've been kind of playing Minecraft together, and that is Cars and Trucks and Ice Princess. So I've really only been playing for about 6 months at this point now, and making videos since about the middle of February. So we just really crossed our 3-month mark in the middle of May, middle to end of May. And again, here I'm still widening the river in a couple of spots. And down here there's kind of a little pool right there, you can see where the water's not really flowing, which is fine. That kind of mimics a real creek or a real river, right, where you have some deep pools where the water's not flowing so much, and then you have other parts which are shallow and the water's flowing a lot faster. So what I'm doing right here is I'm kind of building a berm up and kind of trying to make the hillside there look more natural. And then here I'm trying to figure out how to make this look nice. Like it's a little bit too, it looks a little too big right there for, you know, how big it was just right above there. It was like one wide right above here, and then it opens up into this big giant waterfall, which seems like a little bit, it feels a little unnatural. And right here, this is the lower pond, we'll call it, or the secondary pond. And I'm just going here and clearing out a tree. And in this little part coming out of the secondary pond, I'm going to go ahead and widen a little bit. Again, I want to make it wide enough so that a boat can float down there. And I think what I would like to do too in the future is actually build like another little creek, maybe coming in and joining in with this creek. You know, maybe here, or maybe a little bit further down. I think it would look pretty cool to have two little rivers coming together. Here, just widening it again. So I am playing this all back at double speed. You know, it's not really necessary to show you exactly where I place every bucket of water and everything like that. That's really kind of more up to you. It's just kind of giving you the general idea of how I built this river. Thanks for watching today and have a great day.